I think we're good to roll here, guys, if you're good to roll here. So Dave, I'm going to put you on mute, and we're going to kick this thing off. You guys buckle up, give us a few minutes, and then we'll get ready to drive. Elaine, you ready?
Yep.
You ready?
Yep.
Let's do this thing. All right, guys, welcome. Happy Friday, live from New York and Valencia. It's Moxie live. We know it's beautiful out, and we're about to head into a long weekend. And so I just want to say thanks for joining us today. It's a privilege always to be able to do this. As always, I'm joined by Elaine, the last millennial cook. If you've noticed any improvements on our Instagram and overall social media, you can 100% thank her for making it all lit. Our special guests this week are Marivi and Sandro of LZF. It was 1993 when these two strangers met. She was a painter arriving back in Spain, having left New York. He was an Australian musician discovering Spain. Both shared a passion for the arts, for ideas, and experimenting. They coincided in their way of living and their very distinct view of the world. With an absolute belief that everything you feel can be materialized, they began to experiment. Till on night, playing with some wood veneers, they managed to envelop night. LZF Lamps was born. Sandro operates as the CCO, and Marivi is the designer and creative director of LZF. Sandro graduated from the University of Kent in 1990 with a Bachelor of Arts, is an avid musician, and Marivi graduated from Fine Arts at Valencia University in 1983, and then continued her studies in New York City at Pratt Institute, which I know a few of you on the call know well, and the York Museum of Holography. Between 1986, the year I was born, and 1992, Marivi lived in New York, Madrid, and Paris, showcasing her work as an artist. Since 1994, she's been working on designing fixtures for LZF with the team in Valencia. So as you can see, we're here in our LZF room in New York, and we're super excited to have these guys on. We're super excited to see the plant in Valencia, but as always, before we get into that, Elaine, you're up real quick with the state of the stuff.
Perfect. And I'm going to, I was going to try and share my screen, but you have disabled my ability to do so.
What? Lies. Let me see. That must be a new Zoom feature.
Today I'll do a little intro. For State of the Stuff, I'm going to go to Orluna's website, to their fixed fade fixture with their origin engines. Let's see if, oh no, still do not have access.
Sorry.
But okay, I'll do a visual. It is a downlight, and it comes with 4 options for the origin engine. It can come in standard, which has their real color rendering and specialty beam, with their R9 rating of 99 out of 100. So that is oh, perfect. That really enables you to see the real color of red. And then we have the warm dim, which has a smooth transition of colors, dimming from 3000 to 1800 Kelvin. The high output, which is 13,000 lumens, and the low pro, which is a very low recess depth fixture. It comes in a variety of beam spreads. The regular soft one offers the traditional beam spread with medium, wide, flood, and wash, but you can go with a spot that has 9, 10, and 14 degree beam, with the specialty with 37 degrees, 10 by 45, and 20 by 40. There's a couple of additional details that can be added, which is IP65 rating, a constant torsion, and lockable tilt, and so much more. So if you're interested, go check out the website. We'll link it in the chat. That is it for State of the Stuff. Back to you, Matt.
Thanks, Elaine. And for the main event, we're getting right into it this week. We're not doing a ton of fodder because honestly, we just want to hear from you two guys. So Sandro, you're up, my friend. As you guys can see, Sandro and Marivi are actually going to take us on a drive to the factory to tell us a little bit about the history of LZF to start, before we get into the product itself and the people that work there and all the good stuff that you're here for. So Sandro, Marivi, take it away.
Whoa!
Oh,
Hey,
no!
sorry, I just lost the camera there, lost the camera, everyone. It's okay. So, hi, everybody. We are, I'm going to talk so Bea can concentrate on her driving and we can get there in one piece. So instead of comedians in cars drinking coffee, you've got Bibi and San in a car with hand sanitizer.
Yeah.
So, we're on our way to LZF, and I'll just give you guys a look a little bit at the countryside. LZF is in a old wine cooperative near the town of Chiva, which is written just like Chivas Regal, but without the S. And so this is the first wine growing area in the Valencian state. And but anyway, we thought we'd take advantage of this moment just to sort of tell you a little bit about who we are, what we did before we came to this place. So, like I said, we met in '93, as Matt told you before. Bibi was painting, I was playing music. Not much money in that for either of us. And we were sort of like faced with a dilemma of what are we going to do to earn a living. And quite by chance, we were working with these wood veneers that Marivi was using at that time for, which were very funky actually. They were from Italy. They were reconstructed veneer. And very quickly, we put together, we were working on the house, and these veneers were on a light table. The table, we turned it on one evening and some of the veneers became translucent, and we thought, that is the best light diffuser I've seen. And we decided that we wanted to try and develop that for our house. So we started, and this lady here designed a brief collection, no?
What happened is, next exhibition I did, we decided to make a happening in one theater and invite 38 artists to play with light wood, paint or sculptures or tattoo designers, product designers or graphic designers. A lot of artists came and exhibit one piece in the theater.
So when we finished the evening after we had this happening, we realized that we were onto something. Oh yeah, you want me to turn it around? Just a minute.
Yes.
Okay, I'm just going to flip the screen, everyone.
We just passed all the yellow.
Okay, there you go. So we're just coming into the town. So this is right on the edge of Chiva. Chiva, the village is down there, that side. And this is the outskirts. We are actually the last building on the edge of the town. Anyway, so yeah, so as Bea was saying, we had a happening. We put together a company. We had we started doing some shows, and we had a guest who decided to come in, and a guest who came into the booth, the trade show booth, and ordered a whole bunch of stuff that he wanted custom made for a hotel. And that was how everything sort of accidentally began. And we had to put a company together to be able to deal with it. So stop for a minute, Bea. I should have cleaned the windscreen wipers, shouldn't I? So this lovely green wall here is now actually LZF. Why don't we go to the end and we'll walk through the garden here? Very cool. Okay, so here we go. This is LZF in here, and we're just going to go and park the car, and then we'll take you in. Go. All right. So I'm going to disconnect now. Just 1 minute from the car. 1 second. All good.
Okay, the risky part is over. They're live. The car did not crash.
So Bea, how are you feeling now that we've been here for, how long have we been here? 12 years now?
Yes.
Yeah.
From 8208.
So here we go. This is LZF. It was an old wine cooperative. As you can see, the actual road goes through the building there, and that's our garden. We'll take you down into that now. Matt, are you there?
I'm here. Oh yeah, it looks
I can't hear
amazing.
Matt.
There's not a single cloud in the sky. This is what Central Park looks like.
Matt, I can't hear you. Are you there?
Yeah, we're here. You're good. Hold on. Let me...
Anyway, all right, we'll keep going.
Yeah, you're good.
So initially this was, as I say, a winery. So this top area here, there's the two towers, and in between the two towers was actually where they would come up and drive in and empty the grapes in, which would go down to the factory. That's the view from the garden, from the top. And this little building here was the old weigh bridge. So they would turn up here with their tractors, drop off their grapes, weigh them. And because it was a cooperative, the amount of grapes they put in would be the amount of wine they were then allowed to consume during the year.
Sandro.
And this is the chute where they would empty the trucks, the grapes would dump it down there, and the corkscrew in there would take it in down to the factory below. You have keys? You got the alarm? Okay.
The moment of truth.
Right.
Cool.
So welcome. This is reception. You can see with the stitches. 1966. I can't hear you. Right, so the stitches is a lamp designed by a Belgian designer. And it's a lovely collection, meaning you could practically make up many shapes because it uses modular veneer. Sorry, we're getting... So this is the reception. Because she needed a certain amount of lumens to work, which is specified by the government, we gave her a nice constellation, so she had plenty of light. Doris, who's our receptionist, lovely lady. Unfortunately, you won't get to meet the team because it's Friday afternoon, and here in Spain, Friday afternoons are usually off. Right, so.
Sandro, can you hear me?
Matt?
Yep. Cool.
Can you talk?
Yeah, I can talk. So I was just going to say real quick to everybody, we have footage from Wednesday of people actually in the factory working, etc. So when we put this video up online, we will add in some of that video so you can see what the factory looks like when people are actually at work. Continue on, my friend.
You know, oh, hang on, here we go. Speak now, Matt.
Oops. I think everybody else can hear me, but
got it. I've got it. Okay,
yeah.
I've finally got audio.
Yeah, there we go, buddy. So I was just gonna say, I'm gonna splice in some of the video when we put this up online that we took from Wednesday, where everybody's actually at the factory working, so that they can see what the environment's like there. But for now, we've got it all to ourselves, and go forth.
Okay. Well, B, this is your department, so you explain. So, right
here is graphic department, and we have all the companies we did before.
Campaigns.
Some campaigns. This is high fidelity, and this is television.
So these, just to clear up, are graphic design campaigns. In this, the high fidelity was each record cover based on the Blue Note records. We made a cover for each model of lamp we presented that year. And we recorded a CD with a musician from LA called Rhythma, who wrote one track for each model. And we presented the CD and the covers in the trade show. Each cover was like, it had the light on the front and the tech info at the back. Yeah. And inside would be a poster, which we would send, which people were able to take. They're over at the other shelf, the posters. Mm. The other campaign, B, telling tales.
Telling tales. This is a poster, very, we are very fond of this illustrator. It's called Ricky Blanco. And he's going to participate next year also with us.
Yes. And if you look on our Instagram page and our blog, we've just done an article on Ricky Blanco. He's an amazing, like, blow your mind away. He's so, spot on with everything he draws. It's incredible. Anyway, so we're a little empty, obviously, now here.
Everyone is
Working from home.
Yeah.
But you can see we're right up here in the roofs of what is the factory downstairs. This was actually just a walkway across here and a 30-foot drop to the factory below. We put in the mezzanine a few years after coming in and multiplied the space.
We're going to tell you all the little things.
Yes. So we're going to show you lots of little things. So that's our funny farm collection, the old wood veneers. So here we go. We have, yeah, we have the more. So we've done a lot of things sort of related to wood. Here is also if you look, you can show them the poster inside there. So this is how yeah, there we go.
The poster.
So that was what people would get at the trade show, was a poster catalog and their album cover.
The super poster.
Yeah. Oh, yes, there you go. Nice one.
Side.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Take us through to Cello's room and we'll show them the first lights that we ever made. You didn't see these the other day, Matthew?
Oh, no.
You're kidding me. Oh, the accounting office is locked. Why is the accounting office locked? That's crazy. Well, while B gets the key, I don't know if we've got the key for this one, actually. That would be a shame.
Sandro, I know you'll talk more about it, but obviously what we were just looking at there were some of your campaigns. And I think one of the things about LZF that's so distinctive is the campaign that goes around a product. So
yeah.
I think it's few and far between, frankly, in the lighting industry when you're making art like this, that you see that sort of enveloping campaign around a product to tell a story beyond the fact that it's 15 watts and X amount of light output, etc. And so, yeah, I know we'll see more of it as you go through the space here, but just for everybody who's on that's new, I think one of the things about LZF that you'll find is with every product launch and every product family that there are these stories. I mean, telling tales is such a core part of your brand that it's more than, it's more than just the light fixture itself. And it's really, really kind of, frankly, cool to see in a fun process to experience. So with that, go ahead, Marivi.
Our first point was we was bored to make photos with a table and a lamp and something open on top of the table, no? And we thought, if we are going to make photos, why we don't make our photos? Let's make a tale. Let's drive to the people to a special situation and imagine. And that is the
telling tales. So you remember the Hitchcock movie Rear Window? Well, that was kind of the idea of the Telling Tales campaign.
But
so
imagine the lives of the others.
Imagine what other people's lives are like, you know. And so in the book you have there, Matt, you've got all the tales, and so those are the imaginings of an observer from the other side of the road. But all those tales have LZF lighting in them, so that was quite fun. And I think it's also about the fact that it's a lifestyle thing. It's not just a lamp. We're selling as well a little bit who we are and what we believe in and how we see life, and we hope that other people can like that too.
We believe in every moment you spend should be full of emotions of life, no? I mean, if you are at home or you are in the office, a lot of hours a day, so you should be in a nice place, in something human, in something warm, no? Something who gives you something else to you.
Yeah. Here. Chin Chin B. So we're going to have a beer. I don't know about you guys, but it's 30 degrees here.
And,
And we're in the cafeteria, so this is where the staff come and have their lunch and their coffees and stuff like that. What you see here is a candelabro fixture. I think anyone who's been in Mercado Little Spain might recognize this. You have one in New York City, so you can go downtown and see it anytime you want, right near to the High Line. And so basically, as I was telling Matt and Elaine the other day, what's important for us as well is to work with, you know, obviously when we set up the company making wood veneer lighting, we couldn't go and put an ad in LinkedIn saying, we want people who know how to make wood veneer lighting, because it didn't exist. You know, we were pioneering the method and the finish and everything. So we looked for people in the artisan world. We found people who were shoemakers. We found people who were ceramic, worked with ceramics. We found people who were, and we recruited them in, trained them up, and they became artisans who worked with LZF and continued the work that we had been doing previously, and haven't been able to continue doing, obviously, because we had to start doing other stuff. But anyway, so you can see here the ceramic birds which are included in this fixture are finished with a Moorish glaze. It's actually called Moorish reflection, and that is a recipe which is over 800 years old, and it's only made here in Valencia. So you can see these little golden hummingbirds as they fly around the fixture. They give it a really nice touch of life, you know, to the whole constellation.
We made this candelabro for the first dinner we made for Americans,
super agents. Yeah.
Event.
So when B put this together, it was kind of like the top 10 of LZF fixtures at the time. And she made this as a centerpiece for the dinner table. And it worked so well that then we kept it in the collection. So, right. B, you want to go into the showroom now, Matt, or through the offices? What would you prefer?
We're down here. Let's go into the showroom.
Okay.
Let's do it.
So here we go. This is the exhibition trolley area. So this area here is set up a little bit as you might set up a tabletop show in the States. We designed this trolley, which can ship in a road case and can be set up anywhere. We have a couple in the US and we have a few over here. And so for a tabletop show, it's a little bit more elegant than the table with the black skirt around it. It also has a little metal truss, which can hang a couple of suspension lights, not a lot, but you know, B's showing that to you with her finger. So that is the idea. You know, you have, so it's kind of like a great exhibition system. Anyway, we'll go on through. And here you can see the showroom. So here we have the new products from 2019. We have the Black Note keys, which you have as well, don't you, Matt?
I do.
Right there behind you. So the great thing about the Black Note is, apart from the super slim suspension wires which power the fixture, you also have another tech light, downlight on the bottom side, which illuminates the surface. So apart from it being decorative, it's also tech. Some of the other new pieces, the duplet wall lamp, ADA.
We love that one.
We have the iClub, also ADA. And then we have the new Skyline wall lamp. I'm going to have to get really close to sort of, okay, so Perfect. It doesn't burn out.
Yeah, it looks great.
You have a downlight in it here. And you can also, we can put like signage on the front here. So you can imagine that would be a really nice fixture on the wall in a hallway in a hotel. There's a table version as well, down here. Right, and Over here we have the triplet suspension, the black note triplet. So this is another member. I have to go in really close to get the lights so it doesn't burn the shades.
Yeah, looks good.
These are our funny farm animals. Again, this was a one-off series of hand-carved animals, which are handmade in the Pyrenees. They all have personalities. This one's Ronnie Rhino. And this one is Octopussy. We've got Penguin, Toro, Sheepdog, Angry Goat, Mad Mouse, Smellyphant, Big Bird, and D-Duck, isn't it? Yeah.
That's it.
This is Louis Cypher.
And this is New Yorker.
And that's the New Yorker, right?
Yeah.
Read.
With the
Looks
New
just-
York.
Looks just like me.
Yeah. And down here we have a look at the new lens collections. So these are table lamps. We're also bringing out now a, sorry, I'm trying to get the burn out of it.
No, it looks
doesn't
good.
work, see? Doesn't
Yeah.
work that.
It's not easy.
No. So this is actually a sheet of veneer. And this is the satin, black satin metal finish. Then we have the oval in gold. And these are dim to warm. So when they're on full, they're 3000 K. And when they're dimmed down, they go down to 1800 K. And we have the floor lamp
There's more floor.
and the
And it's another one
Lens
that-
floor. exactly. Now, we've been doing some experiments here. I'm going to show you with the Paisley lamp. So we actually have been doing the Paisley screen, and we've put in acrylic in the Paisley screen, so it can now be a divider which works in our new Corona world. So the screen now has the two Paisley sheets, which means that it's already blocking, making a division, which not just visual one, but also a physical one. Should we show them the new O-line?
You want to finish with the number, please?
No. So up here we have an O-line. Now from there it looks like many others, but when you get in close and you see that veneer kick in, it's a real lovely fixture, and it gives such a natural light, such a natural feel to the room. This lovely LED, of course, and powered through the aircraft cables. So we've got no chunky power cables coming down.
And one more thing, here you can use two colors, one inside, for example, yellow, and pink outside, and combine two colors.
Yes, you can do that. And over here we have the eye line, which is the extremely slim. We're talking about 1.5 inches each way, really. So, and again, that one is a great office fixture, and again, powered by the suspension cables. Oh, we've got a dune over there. Ah, well, this is a real like quick one we're going to show you here. Whoop. Okay. No, I'll give you a bit more than that. So the dune is actually still in prototype phase, and it's combining glass, hand-blown glass with veneer.
Oh, cool.
And it's very cool the way the reflections and the refractions in there happen.
And a very beautiful, strong light.
Downlight.
Yes.
Okay, so we're going to go into, where are we going to go now, B? Come on then. You taking me? Go. There's a surprise in here, which you may know, our beautiful koi.
Yeah.
So here it is. And we're going to turn on all these little babies for you too. The pink, blue, red, natural beach, white,
Okay.
grey. So these are the mini chos.
Packaging.
Their little packaging. The cho must go on. Here we go. They're a great little light for the, the garden. And as we go through here, we have the Lola, the large Lola. Marivi, can you stand there so we can get an idea of how big that is? Okay. As you can see, it's a big shade, makes quite an impression. And it has a lovely LED. Sorry about the flashing. Obviously, that's one of the bad things about the LEDs, I guess. But you can see how the acrylic structure really makes the lamp float around the light source. The floor lamp. B, can we have you next to the floor lamp again so we get a size ratio? Good.
I'm small.
I was gonna say, are those 6 feet?
Eh?
I would say they're about,
165.
165 centimeters, Matt.
Mira, I check it here.
And then we have the new marble basis with the Lola Lux. Beautiful hand-turned marble, locally specced marble, Marquina marble from Valencia. Actually, just in the village next door is the guy who does these for us. 117 inches, he says.
And we made another one smaller now.
We have the smaller one too.
But the feet, we are using it now for the tail as you take photos.
Yes.
So,
And then we have the plain, simple version with the metal base as well. So, and then we have the small pendant. Some of the other new things that we can show you.
this is the first, the
super exclusive.
The first time we show our novelties, okay?
Now, B, while we're here, why don't you tell them the koi story? Because we are under a koi, which is sort of how we receive it from the artisan. And that is before we put the light and the skin on it, which is that one there.
Okay.
So, if you want to show and explain.
Okay. Well, the koi began because every time we show a new lamp, we love to make something to hang the novelty. And we made some extra size interpretation of the original. Okay, so when we present the armadillo lamp, we made like a wall, a big wall with the squares you see in the body of the koi.
Yeah.
So this looks like easy, but it's not that easy because all the shadows and lights you should compensate and try to show the fish very nice when it's off and very nice when it's light.
Permíteme un momento.
Yes.
I'll just fill in there a few words. So the koi developed from a previous model, which was called the armadillo. It was a lamp which never really took off, but it did take off a lot of ideas, and it created a lot of ideas in Marivi's head. And she was working with that pattern, which was the wood squares. And through that came the idea of making a kind of like scales and a texture, a fish-like texture.
And since I was a girl, I was dreaming with a fish, flying fish.
A big fish.
A big fish flying, like in the Bosco Jardín de las Delicias shows. And for me, it was a big opportunity to express something I really love. So we begin working with a
graffiti artist.
Sí, ¿cómo has dicho?
Graffiti artist.
Graffiti artist who draws like crazy, fantastic. And he said, "Why do you let me make ¿cómo se llama?
A motion
graphic?
A motion graphics movie. Yeah.
And we said, okay, perfect. We don't know anything about motion graphic, but we will learn with you, no? So he made a spectacular film, and we made for Milan a big room to show the film, and all the walls was with the squares.
The koi skin was the complete covering of the whole booth, was the koi skin, and there was a screening room where we would show the film. This is the actual, these are the actual storyboards from the film. So you can see
So cool.
these were all original storyboards. You can actually see that film. It's on our YouTube and Vimeo channel. So have a look, check it out. It was actually such a big project. We were never able to complete it the way we wanted it. And I think that's why in the end.
Yeah, because we spent more than 5 years to make everything. We are telling you, 5 years. But we didn't have a hurry or anything. We just want to see it. So the time for us was not important. The idea was the important thing, and we was like making shine, dándole brillo, ¿cómo se dice?
We were shining the product.
Shining the product with time and with like a luxury. Was a big luxury for us to make the coat. And this is the skeleton.
So we work with local, in Valencia, there's a tradition of making large paper mache sculptures which are burnt on the night of St. Joseph. And the art of making these 3D sculptures, which are, some are 40 or 50 foot high, they use these very thin wooden strips on a frame to create what they then cover with paper mache before they burn it. But we felt that this was such an extremely beautiful art that we would like to show it rather than cover it. So we worked with the artisans to then make the base structure of the koi. And this is exactly how it comes to us before we put on the skin and the light.
And another thing we fell in love, we think we should react, is this kind of tradition is disappearing. And his father and his grandfather make this technique, but now it's super expensive to make it. So the fires, they change the way they make it. And this is disappearing.
Yeah. I think one of the important things is we like to work with local artisans, not only because we started working by hand ourselves, but it's also a way of integrating dyeing arts into a new design production.
We want to know what they do. We want to know, to learn.
Here we have the hide and seek. So the hide and seek is actually 2 sheets of veneers which have cutouts. So when you turn it on, you get this wonderful pattern. When you turn it off, it's just white. So that's a really interesting concept, and it can be applied to different shapes of lampshades as well.
Including flat
panels
like paints for hotels.
Well, I have the camera here now under something which is also relatively new, so I'm going to give it a flip up and show you Maruja. So Maruja is a new concept of, these are actually loose. It comes in a flat pack envelope and you can put it together quite easily yourself. And it's a lovely sort of good for a domestic, I think, and small restaurants and bars, etc. So that's the Maruja. That will be September-ish. Well, oh, here we go. We've also got the thesis collection here, an architectonic, a very architectural collection designed by Ramon Esteve, who's becoming a very big architect here in Spain right now. And we have here the thesis table, the floor.
For the size.
The size. We have our size ratio. And then we have the wall lamp, which is a swivels 180 degrees, and you can see that's a perfect way of getting a light over a table if you don't have any ceiling or any way of putting that up.
So Sandro, you mentioned something, and we had a question come in. I think they kind of all go together real quick before we get into the new product. You mentioned the designer for the thesis. You guys, obviously, you work with a lot of designers. You can look them up, their biographies, what they've worked with you on the website. We had someone ask, basically, they love how you've integrated art in business. To what extent do you make, or how do you go about making sure that you make art with outside artists a priority, along with the realities of running a day-to-day business?
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes. Sorry, can you just repeat that, Matt?
Yeah. So the question was, how do you make art with outside artists? You know, one of the things we're learning as we go through your space here is how much of a priority that is. How do you manage that while running a day-to-day business and the demands of that as well?
Because we need to work with artists and with people who teach us things we love it, and they don't strictly connect like with the lamp, but give the life, extra life.
I think
try
Matt,
to explain,
maybe
because
Matt's probably asking from a point of view of how does the business financially work? You know, how do you combine the two things? You know, is that the sort of?
Yeah, I think the question was along the lines of, you know, most brands, and I kind of said this when we started, like most lighting manufacturers, they make lights. Whereas obviously it's clear that you guys have prioritized working with artists and making art as much as you do with lights. But there's the reality of the fact that, like any business, you have to sell light fixtures to survive. So I'm sure it's a balance, but I think it was recognition of the appreciation for the fact that you're looking at this not just as someone who makes light fixtures, but as art, right? In investing in other artists and ideas.
There are manufacturers of lighting who will actually get a great kick about the technology in their lamp or the materials, right? Nice. Or you know, they'll get a wonderful kick about the fact that it's 24 volt and you know, that sort of thing. Our kick is more how can we combine a commercial product with culture?
How can we live with our products and share more than just products? I mean, we want the clients to fall in love and to connect with us and say, I want this for me because this thing talked about me too.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Very well. You did it very well. Well done, B. I'm actually getting a low battery warning, so we should start to
let's go get you plugged in. Yeah, why don't you show us the rest of the spot real quick? It was really nice to see the show.
I've got 20% still.
Okay.
So,
I know you've got a couple new things
I just want to show you the Aries table. So this is another one that'll be out in September, hand-blown glass with a G9 LED spot in the bottom and a wood veneer shade. We also have that in suspension.
Cool.
The artist who blow this lives in the middle of the Pyrenees and is the master of the masters of the
masters of the masters of the universe.
No.
Yeah. Why not? I'm just taking it. I'm having a joke, B. Don't worry, I'm not being serious.
But we are being serious.
Okay, so here we have, for example, some of the telling tales while we're here. You've got that. You can see that on our web. Shall we go quickly through to the offices and down to production? Yeah. So as you walk through what was once a window, now you see Marivi's office. She works more from her studio now, but it's still her office and her space which she designed for herself. Here's la luz. And so now it's kind of like a meeting room in general. We had a kitchen in it because we do cook, obviously very important. And our offices So we kind of like, we lived here for a year or so. So there's lots of little things in here, which, no, yeah. And like I said, you know, these little, all things which really define us in a way. And then we come through here to my office, which is in here, and a little bit sort of, I'm not a minimalist. I love collecting stuff, as you can see, and this is kind of my life shelf here with all my little things. And we've got pictures here, like, so this is B and me right from the beginning when we started LZF. There you go. And we have another picture here. Where did it go? I've lost it. No, I wanted to show, oh yeah, here it is. So this was found, this photo was found. This was actually the woman we bought this factory off when she was a little girl in front of the factory being built in 1960. So that's,
yeah, just to be clear, you didn't buy the factory off a little girl. She was 60 something when you sold it to.
Yeah, she was, yeah, exactly. Exactly. Right. So these are our commercial offices. Again, so this was all designed by B. We have all our iMacs there from the beginning.
We did everything in the factory, the lights,
yeah, we made the furniture. We made all the furniture ourselves. These are
first campaign.
Campaigns, Light and Nature. So these were some of the pictures that we had made for the Milan booth. Now they decorate the office. We go down through the stairs here, look. And we'll just go down to the production area.
Cool. Yeah, so we have some video from earlier in the week that shows a lot of this being assembled. And actually, Elaine, if you remember, those fixtures on the table currently were only frames 2 days ago.
That's right. Well done,
Yep.
Matt. Yep.
Yeah.
So they've come along.
Yeah.
So basically, this area of the factory is where we do our geometric shades. So they're all shades that have a structure which give the shape to the lamp. It might be acrylic, it might be metallic. And we'll just go down. This is the light table, so very important for testing, checking the veneer before we actually make the fixtures to make sure there's no cracks or anything in it. And here you have cones from a dandelion, which are being made right now. And this is the actual pattern for the miniature when it's not built. So there you go. Oh yeah. Over there we have quality control. And in here we have organic shades. So we have a lot of organic shades on order this week. As you can see, it's sort of busting out everywhere. So these are links, nuts, orbits, etc. The Agatha fixtures. So we also have put the showroom walk around together. So we've got the lamps hanging that are usually made in that area above the area. So it kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
Mikados here.
We actually got to see a few of these getting made on Wednesday. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Because it all starts with
here
this.
we go. You didn't get to see this. So this is the Mikado.
Yeah.
In the first step of manufacturing. So it gets put together with that belt and then it gets twisted into that shape. Also here we have like the raindrop shades. B, can you show how that's opened?
Yes.
We have a magnetic clipping in there, so it's easy to get into.
Put the bulb and then close it.
Yeah. And this is also where they make the air, the links, of course. Yeah, I've shown them that already.
Okay.
Yeah. And so with the organic shades, what happens is the structure has nothing to do with the light itself. It's just there to hold in the light fixture. And the shape of the shade comes from the actual veneer itself and how it's put together. So you can see that So all our veneers are treated in-house. So we have a patented veneer finish called Timberlight. And Timberlight, what we do is basically we seal the veneer and it becomes flexible and manageable. You know, we've had fixtures up at home for 15, 20 years and they're still fine. So this is quality control. So what happens here, the fixtures get cleaned, bagged, instructions put in, the electricity joins the shades, and we get ready to ship out. So here we have some skylines, which are actually getting ready to ship. I'd like to sort of mention that all our bags that we use are all potato starch. We try and use as much ecological materials in packaging as possible. It's obviously not always 100% possible to do that, but I would say 80% of what we do is cardboard and paper and cornstarch bagging. You can see right now, everything's been put into the factory for the weekend. So these are orders that will probably be shipping on the Monday. And over there, you can see those bags of foam chips. That's actually cornstarch as well. So we try to avoid polystyrene. Pero no hay que ver nada ahí. Oh, this logistics office.
That might be the nicest looking logistics office a manufacturer's ever built.
Our eye club.
Timberlight.
And that's the Timberlight area, which is always locked to the public. And that's where we have our Coca-Cola recipe, guys. So, you know, yep. And then here again, as I said, we're using we're using a lot of this stuff now instead of styrofoam. So this is like bees honeycomb cardboard. You can see we cut it out. So it's sort of like a footprint for the lights and the fixtures. This one is a wall light. A thesis wall light, actually. And then we come to the LZF garden.
Event, the best part for last.
Yes, here we go. So this is our garden. We have this willow tree. This whole garden was planted by us. There was nothing here, but it was kind of like the city tip. People came here and threw out all their bits and pieces from their DIY and crap like that. It was pretty horrible. But we cleaned it all up and we planted all the trees you can see here were planted by us when we moved in. So this willow tree here was saved. It was virtually dying, that poor thing, when we brought it in. So this is where the people have their morning coffee as well. So they're either upstairs in winter or out here in the garden in summer. But mind you, we have such good weather here in winter that it's used both during the winter and the summer. Here we have our barbecue area where we do paellas. And over there you can see we've got, look, this is so lush at the moment. We've had a month of rain and quarantine, so it's looking really green. This is a masonry wall which was here when we came. We fixed it. It's actually full of, we've installed it full of light installations when we do our evenings. You can see we have the wall lights going here. And when we have events in winter, we've built the pavilion, which your dad didn't see, Matt, because this wasn't there then.
Yeah.
And we have the tunnel, the light tunnel here, which is where we have our summer dinners. And we have the lighting. All the branches are wired up. And we can fill this with clouds of lights. And we have dinners out here in the summer, which is lovely, with agents and guests from overseas or press or whatever. And in here, in the pavilion, it's just polycarbonate walls with pine, and it's a great area for events and stuff like that.
Did you remember the party last time?
Yeah. Well, when his father came, this wasn't here, and we danced on the lawn. And we had the casino in there. Yeah.
Those connexes are cool because it's actually one big room. It's not 5.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I'm going to show you that maybe right now. So they're just looking back to where we came. How are we doing, Matt?
We're doing great.
Yeah.
Sandro and Marivi, thank you. I feel like you've welcomed us into your home.
Well,
Oop.
yeah.
No.
You're doing
Thank
so
you.
well.
I know. The technology is amazing.
Tree here.
There we go.
Walnut trees and our ginkgo tree. It's coming. It's such a beautiful tree, that one. Anyway, I'm a very passionate gardener, so I enjoy very much sort of the watching the trees grow. I think anyone who's into gardening will get a good kick out of, you know, how much plants grow and how easy it is to actually grow things for free, which is wonderful.
Elaine, it kind of looks like a painting / everything's wrapped in plastic because of the lag. It's cool. It's actually kind of cool.
So here we go. Well, listen, we'd like to send all our love to all of you, and thanks for tuning in. We're thrilled to be able to have shown you around LZF. And I'm going to flip the camera now so we can actually say goodbye.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Looks like we got a question that came in. It just someone Deb chimed in and said this was just absolutely fantastic, and thank you for giving us your time. Sandro and Marivi, thank you for essentially welcoming us into your home. I know there's after we talk Wednesday, there are a lot of stories hidden in that place. As we went around your office and Marivi's office, from the perfume bottles you got to tell us about from Japan.
Oh yeah. I didn't go into such detail.
No,
because,
it's okay. Your father's
to tell you the truth, he likes to be more professional than me, and I'm a blabber. I like to yak. So the thing is, like, I was just heading over, and she'd go, "No, come on, this way." So we have to. How do you say? The situation, you have to. Oh, bloody hell! The word. Yeah. Adapt to the situation. Hey.
Yeah. But it's a privilege to get to see the people behind something that gets made, right? Because often there's such a disconnect between what we look at on our 3x5-inch phones or on our computer and the day-to-days we're quickly going about, and whether you're a designer, an architect, a homeowner, or somebody who's looking at a product. And so for me, this story and you guys sharing like who you are, right, is very much part of what LZF is. And if somebody purchases or uses an LZF lamp on a project, it's more than just that. It's this whole story. So really appreciative of your time. If anybody who's signed on has any questions, shoot us an email. Please check out LZF's website. You'll find that from the graphic design to their different campaigns, telling tales, etc. That it's frankly quite a fun experience, and hopefully as things get better here and the world moves forward, we'll get a chance to actually come to Valencia. I know you guys come to the city
and
as
if there's
well,
anything any of you would like to ask me and B personally, then please, you just write to us through the contact on the web, because I'm not going to give you our emails here live, but just go to the contact us on the web, say attention Marivi, Sandro, whatever you want to ask us. We're more than happy. We'll get back to you if there's any questions, for sure. That'd be great.
And I want to invite you to participate in the last week of the Tell Us Your Tale.
Oh God!
Yeah.
Because it's
yes. Here I am, communications officer, and so we've done a contest for the last month and a half, based on our Telling Tales campaign. It's called Tell Us Your Tale, and what we would like is take a photo of yourself in some kind of situation, make a set, dress up, wear a costume. If you don't have an LZF fixture, just download a photo off the web and put it in there somehow, even if it's on the page of a magazine on the photo. But just tell us a little tale. You can win a lamp. So between what you could win from Moxie and what you can win from us, you could go home with 2 fixtures.
That reminds me. So
we'll be drawing that at the end of the month. We have 3 international female judges, 1 from Australia, 1 from your beautiful New York State, and 1 from here in Spain. So we will be putting that up, the information on the judges, over the next week. And you can add in your photo, and maybe you'll win a Lola table lamp.
Cool. Yeah. That reminds me, I have everybody who signed on, I'm going to do a drawing Monday on the holiday. I'm going to print everybody's name out, put it in a hat. We're going to draw a name for who wins the mini cho, and then we'll post on the Instagram. We'll reach out so that we can get that sent to you. And yeah, you know, I have LZF in my apartment as well, so I'm planning on doing my own.
Waiting for a photo,
this
Matt.
weekend. Yeah, you'll definitely get one, and we'll make sure it's fun. Cool.
Excellent.
Thank you, guys. Everybody, happy Friday. Sandro,
Thank
Marivi.
you.
Gracias.
Nice weekend.
Buenas
Ciao.
noches. Ciao.
Good night. Take care.
Ciao.
Bye.